All right. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the month of April of 2023. I'm a little late. If you're new, thanks for joining me. If you're coming back, thanks for coming back. Let's get started. We're going to do dice, then astrology cards, and tarot cards after that. Okay, 5 and a 4. Lots of conflict, lots of feeling stuck. Whew. I think you got to face this in order to get through it, okay? You've got the 5 and the 4 and then the 4 and the 1. So it feels like maybe the structures that are around you feel as if they're getting in the way, and I can actually see another 5 to the side of you. It feels like you kind of got stuff coming at all sides. And I think that's getting in the way of your flexibility. You like being flexible. You like being free. And I feel like there's a lot that's confronting that or conflicting that. Yes, there is. Okay. I think you are in your feelings big time right now. And I think that part of you feels like you do not know what to do. You do not know what direction to go in. I think that you feel very confused by what's around you. And more importantly, I think you feel confused because of your emotions. This candle is going nuts right now. The flame is huge. So yeah, confirmation of that. Big sigh of relief, huh? That is the craziest thing I think I've ever seen one of my candles do. It just went out. And trust me when I say that there is more than enough wick. That was nuts. I need a minute. I'm sorry. Not expecting that to happen. Are you done? Are you just done right now with something in your life? I'm gonna go. Anyway. Get another candle for you guys. Okay, so we're starting off with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and the King of Wands in reverse. So I definitely think, once again, you feel stuck. I think you're having a really hard time initiating any action right now, or you're feeling very conflicted about how to initiate that action, because I think right now this is more about feeling like you have to defend yourself, and maybe not in ways that are normal for you. But I also think it's because you're burnt out. I feel like a lot of your energy reserves are quite depleted at the moment. There we go. And I'll be honest, I just think you feel confused. Like, I feel like maybe you've tried to do the more traditional route for a while and something about that doesn't feel right. Maybe your viewpoints and your perspectives are changing in life right now, or the ways you initially have been led. Florida is significant for some reason. I'm sorry. The shadow right now is like casting what looks like the state of Florida. So that could be significant for somebody out there. But I don't know, man. This feels like such a weird devil's advocate reading. Because part of me is like, yeah, I think you guys really need to like lean into this aspect of family and community and closeness and commitment and all of those good things. But something about you seems to be fighting it. Like something about you seems to be fighting traditional stuff or what is deemed traditional or conventional. I mean, it feels like your commitments are being tested to things, or it just feels that way inside of you, where you feel very conflicted when it comes to your commitments. Because then we have the Five of Swords with the Hierophant in reverse. Maybe you and another person's belief systems are clashing. Maybe the ways in which you would like to do something don't fit. And it's leading to some big confusion on what happens next, because then we have the Two of Wands in reverse with the Four of Wands in reverse. So I feel like there's an issue here around the home, or there's an issue here around where do we go from here? Because the well has run dry. The well has run dry. For some of you out there, if you're struggling with sobriety, I think this is getting in the way of you being able to find clarity. This kind of feels like somebody falling off the wagon. I just think your emotions are on top of you right now. Whatever this is such an emotional thing. And maybe because it did have such a solid structure in your life at one time. Yeah. Ooh. Fucking devil's advocate, right? Addiction issues. I don't know. And I'm going to be honest, this feels like it came out of nowhere. Like, this truly feels like it came out of nowhere. Whatever these thoughts were, whatever these feelings were, whatever this realization was, whatever these emotions are, have just, I think, risen up out of you like a tidal wave. I do think it's something you've been looking at, or someone's been looking at this. Because there's thought here, right? There's a lot of looking into the past, or looking at where one is currently and where one is headed. And here's the thing. I do see some form of like a happy ending or a happy outcome here, but at the same time, I feel like the only way in which to achieve that is by making sure that you choose to give to what it is that you want, right? This is going to take work. This is going to take work. It's going to take accountability. It's going to take feeding what it is that you want to grow. And I feel like if you're holding on to the way something once was, or if you're holding on to the way, like trying to preserve something so that it never changes, kind of going against who you guys are in the first place. So like, you guys are a very changeable experience, very changeable element. You love growing, you love changing, you love learning, you love being in movement, you love travel, like you love all of these things that are about evolution. So I'm very confused as to why this is such a struggle here. And once again, maybe it's because it's coming up against someone else's ideas, right? someone else's wants, someone else's needs, someone else's desires. And maybe at one point you thought you could do this, or you thought that you could, make it work in that way, and now you're being challenged because you're not quite sure. And once again, maybe inside of this too, you're facing some really heavy stuff. Maybe there's stuff coming up from the past for you. Maybe there's stuff, maybe there is fear of commitment. Maybe there is, maybe you struggle with issues around sobriety, or somebody here does. Maybe you struggle with not wanting to be chained down by something. But I think at the end of the day, there just is so much fear that needs to be addressed here. Right? It's kind of like immerse yourself in these feelings, like really understand what these feelings are trying to tell you. Thank God this candle's burning so much better. Because I do think clarity is coming for you, and I do think awareness is coming for you, but I feel like it requires something to be like stripped down to the bare bones of the thing. I don't know if it's you, I don't know if it's the other person, but it's like somebody here isn't like being as open to this as they could be. Which, no shame, right? Like if something doesn't work for somebody, it doesn't work for somebody. But I feel like the way at which this is attempting to be, like the resolution is attempting to be reached in this, could be done better. Just from an outside perspective. It could be done better because there is a lot of love here. There is a lot of happiness. I feel like there has been a lot of success within the experience itself, but there's just something about it that has lost its like fun, right? Like its luster. And I think this is the time in any situation where elbow grease is required and additional work is necessary. This is where mastery comes in. Right? This is where really honing the art and the craft of this is essential. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. That feels relevant. So I think it's time to change things up here. I'm going to pull some final cards to see what the overall outcome of this could be. Do not feed the beast. Okay, please. Because I think there's such a strong temptation here to feed the beast. Please do not feed it. Whatever it is, whether it's an addiction issue, just wanting to be like wild. There's something here about this like wildness. Right? Like an untamable thing. And I'm not saying that everything has to be tamed in this life, but what I am saying is that there's some sort of impulse that's here that does need to be addressed, and it does need to be curbed in some way. Because whatever it is, it's very unhealthy. This isn't like a healthy expression of self and like be who you want to be and do what you want to do and it's all good. Like there's something about this that actually hurts, and there's something about this that actually causes quite a bit of devastation in its wake. And it needs to get addressed because it's not just hurting other people, it's hurting you. Or vice versa, however this flies for you. And I think maybe whatever this was, there was this assumption that there was a handle on it, or there was this belief that there was a handle on it, and maybe we're seeing that that's not entirely true. Also, be very, very careful if you're lying about something right now. Or shout out to whoever is, whether it's you or another person. Be very careful, because I don't think this is going to end well. Anyway, I hope that helped. Do the best you can. Be honest. If you want this, give to it. It's going to require sacrifice. Or if you're dealing with somebody who, you know, is having a hard time with this, there is a way to encourage open, honest conversation, and there is a way to find a solution. And if there isn't, and there keeps being a problem with that, then it's time to restructure. Time to restructure what this is, and it's time to change what it is, maybe for good. So, hopefully that helps. It's just a shit kicker of a month. Okay, we've got the eclipse this month. I think it's in 7 days from when I'm recording this. So if shit hits the fan, you will know why. But it's opening doorways, so whatever is leaving, let's go. I'll see you guys next time.